Hello ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to this video. A very warm welcome to another video of mine. Well, today I'm gonna talk about the planet Jupiter. On the 13th of April 2022, the planet Jupiter will move into the Pisces sign and it is gonna stay there until 22nd of April 2023. So for 1 year, this planet Jupiter is gonna stay in the Pisces sign. Pisces belongs to the planet Jupiter. This zodiac sign of Pisces belongs to the planet Jupiter. Hence, this planet Jupiter is gonna remain very strong in the Pisces sign. The planet Jupiter represents a lot of things. It represents kindness. It represents benevolence. It represents righteousness. It represents money. It represents wealth. It represents property. It represents creativity. It represents intelligence. It represents divine guidance. It represents your gurus, your astrologers, your teachers, preachers. It also represents intuition and optimism. So at this point in time, you are gonna feel a sense of optimism in your life because the planet Jupiter will be in its own zodiac sign. Seeing the planetary positions and the transit of Jupiter in the Pisces sign, I wanna tell you all something today. I wanna tell you all that when Jupiter enters the sign of Pisces, you are gonna feel that you need to be consistent in your efforts. You need to be persistent in your work, in your endeavors at this point in time. When I was a child, I saw a laborer hammering a rock and he kept on hammering the rock for several hours. He didn't know by which stroke that rock would break, so he kept on hammering. So similarly, you have to keep on hammering in your life at this point in time. In other words, you need to keep on trying to achieve that goal in your life, to achieve that dream in your life at this point in time. Try again. If you do not succeed at first, try again. This should be the mantra for you at this point in time. That laborer who I saw working, he didn't know by which stroke of that hammer that rock would break. So he kept on hammering that rock. And finally, after several hours, that rock broke. So similarly, you have to keep on hammering on that rock. That aim of your life, that purpose of your life, that objective of your life which you were born for. And if you keep trying at that goal, that aim, that objective, that goal of your life at this point in time, then no one in this world can stop you from succeeding in your life. Because the universe is gonna help you at this point in time in your endeavors. All you need to do is be consistent with your efforts. You need to be persistent in your efforts. That rock broke by the last stroke of the hammer. That doesn't mean that the first stroke that laborer hammered was useless. Success is the result of continuous efforts and persistence. So if you want to achieve success during this time when Jupiter is in the Pisces sign, you need to keep trying. Because you don't know at which moment you would get success in your life. You need to be persistent in your work at this point in time. If you want to see prosperity in your life, if you want to see success in your life, but I can tell you this much, that during this time, if you make your efforts, if you make your sincere efforts, then you can see success in your life. You also need to avoid some toxic people, some negative people in your life at this point in time. Those naysayers in your life who want to drag you down in your life, who want to pull you down in your life. If people near you, your near or dear ones, your loved ones are trying to drag you down in your life, who are trying to pull you down in your life, who are trying to discourage you in your life, who are trying to tell you that you can't make it in this thing called life, then I'd encourage you all to just discard them from your life. You know, these near and dear ones, these loved ones, these friends should be the members of the encouragement club for you. But instead, if they discourage you at this point in time, hence you need to leave them alone. And you need to walk on that path which you think right for yourself. If you get a feeling that someone is jealous of you, someone hates you, then it is better to just forget that person at this point in time. You also need to forgive all your enemies at this point in time. You know, unforgiveness is just like that poison you drink and expect the other person to die. So if you are carrying that burden of unforgiveness at this point in time, you need to release it. You need to forgive your friends, your enemies, your loved ones at this point in time. And don't tell me that you have forgiven them, but you can't forget it. You know, what kind of forgiveness is that? When you say you have forgiven, but you haven't forgotten. If you haven't forgotten, that means you are still tied to that person, that event. If you haven't forgotten about that incident, if you haven't forgotten about that event, then you are still tied to that event, that incident. You are still attached to that incident, that event. I mean, that event where you developed that acrimony, that animosity towards that person. You need to eradicate that animosity, that acrimony towards that person from your soul, from your DNA at this point in time. Because if you want to move forward in your life, then you can't carry that weight of unforgiveness with you. So in a gist, I want to tell you all that you need to make continuous efforts at this point in time if you want to see success and prosperity in your life. You need to avoid people who are negative for you, who are toxic for you, who are debilitating for you. And you need to forgive all the people of this world with whom you have some kind of animosity or acrimony. Well, this is all I wanted to tell you about this particular transit of Jupiter in Pisces sign. Well, now let me get specific about my speech. I want to start predicting about Aries moon sign, Aries ascendant people and all the moon sign and all the ascendants. Let me start with Aries moon sign, Aries ascendant people. Well, for Aries moon sign, Aries ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in your 12th house. So at this point in time, you will stay connected to God. You will realize that there is a supernatural power which is ruling you. You will realize that it is not because of your doing that you are on this planet Earth. You will realize that there is some supernatural power. There is some power in this world which is ruling you, which is guiding you, which is giving you life every day. So you are gonna remain connected to God at this point in time. You could also start meditating at this point in time, so that you can experience peace and harmony in your life. If you face any sort of problem at this point in time, you will be able to overcome them very easily. Well, for Taurus moon sign, Taurus ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in the 11th house. So at this point in time, you can earn a lot of money. You can earn more than what you are earning currently. I mean, if you are doing a job also where one can expect just a salary, you can have some extra income at this point in time. Your previous investments could grow exponentially at this point in time. Well, for Gemini moon sign, Gemini ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in the 10th house. So at this point in time, you will get respect and admiration from your near and dear ones, from your colleagues, from your bosses, from the society you stay in. So this would be a time where you will get respect and admiration from everyone. Your career is gonna get a major boost at this point in time. You could get a promotion in your job, or your business could grow substantially at this point in time. If you are in a profession, you could start earning a lot of money at this point in time. For Cancer moon sign, Cancer ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in the 9th house. So at this point in time, you can experience a change in your fortunes. You can see a positive change in your destiny at this point in time. You could also get help from your elders at this point in time. I mean, from your guru, your father, your teachers, your astrologers, the spiritual masters, etc., etc., etc. You are gonna clear your conscience at this point in time. Well, for Leo moon sign, Leo ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in your 8th house. So you can expect some sudden money in your life. You can expect some transformations in your life. You could expect a different life for yourself at this point in time. If your life was filled with darkness, then at this point in time, you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. You will be in a very strong position to remove all the hurdles, the obstacles, the barriers which is stopping you in your life. Well, for Virgo moon sign, Virgo ascendant people, this particular Jupiter, I mean in the Pisces sign, will be in the 7th house. So at this point in time, people who are not married, I mean the people who want to get married, they are likely to get married at this point in time. They can find a life partner for themselves at this point in time. If you were having any sort of misunderstanding with your spouse, then at this point in time, that misunderstandings will be over. I mean, it would end. All your relationships are gonna get better at this point in time, as well as you will see a growth in your business if you are doing business at this point in time. For Libra moon sign, Libra ascendant people, this particular Jupiter in the Pisces sign will be in your 6th house. So at this point in time, all your past problems, all your past difficulties are gonna end at this point in time. If you had taken a loan from somewhere, then you would definitely return that loan at this point in time. I mean, you would start paying your dues to those creditors at this point in time. You are gonna make peace with your friends and enemies at this point in time. I mean, if you had a fight with your friend, then you are gonna make peace with them. Well, for Scorpio moon sign, Scorpio ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in your 5th house. So at this point in time, there is a chance of a marriage in your family. I mean, your child could get married at this point in time. If you were finding a love relationship in your life, then at this point in time, you might find that partner for yourself. All your investments in the stock market are gonna grow at this point in time. I mean, the investments which you had made in the stock market will see substantial profits at this point in time. And for students, this is gonna be an excellent time for y'all, as you will find that concentration, that focus which had lost in the previous months. Students are gonna get serious about their studies at this point in time. Well, for Sagittarius moon sign, Sagittarius ascendant people, this particular Jupiter in the Pisces sign will be in your 4th house. So at this point in time, you are gonna experience happiness and comfort in your life. You are gonna spend a lot of money behind luxury at this point in time. You are gonna spend a lot of money behind traveling at this point in time. You would want to see many places in this world at this point in time. I mean, you will have the urge to see something new in your life at this point in time in terms of traveling. It is gonna be a time of peace and harmony for you. Well, for Capricorn moon sign, Capricorn ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in your 3rd house. So at this point in time, you are gonna make certain efforts which will give you profits at this point in time as well as in the future. You are gonna take certain decisions in your life which will help you in the future. You are gonna be only concerned about yourself at this point in time, and you are gonna focus on your own work at this point in time. You wouldn't like anyone to disturb you at this point in time. Neither you would disturb them. All your efforts are gonna yield results at this point in time as well as in the future. Well, for Aquarius moon sign, Aquarius ascendant people, this particular Jupiter will be in your second house. So at this point in time, you are gonna experience wealth in your life. You are gonna experience money in your life. If you were craving for money, then at this point in time, you will have enough money in your bank account. I mean, you are gonna earn money and keep that money in the bank account. You could also invest your money behind your children's education at this point in time, which will benefit them in the future. There is gonna be complete understanding between you and your family at this point in time, and you are gonna get respect and admiration for whatever you do for your family at this point in time. Well, for Pisces moon sign, Pisces ascendant people, this is gonna be a great time for you. You are gonna be filled with confidence at this point in time. You are gonna be filled with determination at this point in time. You will move forward in your life in a very determined manner, and you are gonna get a lot of good results in every area of your life, in every arena of your life. Whatever your desires and wishes were previously, you will see that those desires and wishes getting fulfilled at this point in time. You are gonna see success and prosperity in your life at this point in time. Well, these were my general predictions about Jupiter in the Pisces sign from 13th April 2022 until 22nd April 2023. If you want some specific predictions about yourself, then you can contact me directly. Well, like I always say, that if you wish to know your future through astrology and you are determined to live the best possible version of yourself, well, one must always try to live his or her best version of themselves, because there is only one life to live. There are no duplicates of a life. You will not get a chance to live this beautiful life once again. And if you want to enhance your luck in your life, if you want to boost your luck in your life, if you want to increase your luck in your life, then I have several remedies for you. These remedies are a fusion of astrological remedies, Vastu remedies, and religious remedies, which can be utilized by any person of any religion. And if you want me to pray for you, prayer can move mountains. So, if you want me to pray for your health, wealth, money, business, career, job, profession, love life, relationships, etc., 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 then also you can contact me. And if you want a Vastu visit of your flat, office, residence and factory, then you can contact me over WhatsApp. And if you are hell-bent on taking your life from the ridiculous to the sublime, from the low point to the high point, from nothing to something, then you can contact me over WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number has been given on this video. Have a great day and a great time ahead. God bless you all. Jai Mata Di. Jai Ma Kali.